Howdy everyone, it is Sebastian. How are you doing? How is my crew? I am so excited to be coming at you today with yet another Sea of Thieves video talking about an article from Windows Central that was released on February 13th, 2018 that talks about Rare ditching loot crates and what they might be ditching them for to replace. Let's get into this conversation because it's a very big topic and I'm so excited to bring it to you. Like I said, this was an interview from Windows Central with Rare Ltd's Joe Neate, executive producer of Sea of Thieves. And we learned a lot of interesting things in this article, like Rare's plans post-launch, but specifically what we're going to be talking about today is what they're going to be doing instead of loot crates. So, the question actually asked by Windows Central is, you mentioned the business aspect of Sea of Thieves, and obviously there's a huge conversation taking place with regards to games as a service, specifically loot crates and so on. How will you monetize post-launch? How does Xbox Games Pass potentially affect that? So that is a question. Joe Neate replies with a pretty good response. Basically he says, we're going to have two options to get revenue from this game as soon as we launch. People will either buy the game or get it via Xbox Game Pass. Both are good for them. They get revenue and income that way, which is exactly obviously why Rare is making the game at the end of the day, for money. They need to return a profit. And those are the ways they're going to make money right now. But as we continue further along in the article, we figure out that post-launch you need to make money, okay? Games need to make money, especially an MMO-like game, and Sea of Thieves is definitely one of those shared world adventure games where they want to make an income that keeps on persisting throughout the game's lifetime. So how are you going to do that if you don't want to put loot crates in the game? Basically, Joe Neate said this: when we bring in monetization systems, it won't impact power. It won't impact progression. People will know what they're buying, so no loot crates. We want to add fun social things that really have an emotional value rather than a functional value. We're going to let people buy pets. We'll treat them a fun way. They'll be with you on a ship. I'll be able to pick it up and run off with it because they'll be physical objects too. I can hold your monkey or hold your cat or run away with it. If I put it down, it'll come back. So that's basically them saying they're going to sell people objects and kind of cosmetics in a sense. You can buy, as we know, pets that'll be cats or monkeys, and that'll be a way for Rare to keep making money throughout the game's life cycle, which I think personally is actually a really, really good way of doing it because it doesn't promote power or anything like that over. It's not a pay-to-win system, and that's basically how they're preventing it. In the next paragraph, we learn a little bit more. It says, pets will be our first feature that will allow players to spend additional money. We'll treat it the right way, and I want to be able to fire pets out of cannons. I'll fight tooth and nail with our design team to get it done. A cat will always land on its feet, of course, because it's a cat. It's just a bit of fun and silliness. That's from Joe Neate. That's just saying he wants to be able to get players' pets to be shot out of cannons and then come back to them, because I think that would be cool too, and that kind of adds to paying for like a fun social thing, which is what Rare is really going for. And I think that's a very good way of getting people to purchase more items and cosmetics. And this obviously leads me to believe, though, that this system is not implemented, so it might come with a first update. I don't think it'll be there at launch because it sounds like they're still working on it, but I guess we'll see in the future. And then the last paragraph from the article that I'm going to talk about is this: as we add additional stuff to the game down the line, there's no intent to charge for content updates. There's no seasons pass, there's no DLC. That stuff will be delivered for free. We don't want to separate our players, but at the same time, we'll bring in an optional way to spend money. And as we grow and evolve the game and new stuff comes in, we'll be trying other things. What other things can fit in the kind of vision? Fun potions. Maybe it lets you drink so that you look old, adding emotional value as opposed to anything else that just fit into our Sea of Thieves world. And I think that's perfectly understandable, and I think the fact that content updates will be free, there's no seasons pass, there's no DLC, that's a great thing for players to know in advance when they purchase the game because they will always have the full game. However, that kind of sucks for Rare too because they're having this MMO that they have to sustain with servers and things like that. but they need to find a way to generate more money, and that will be done through what seems like cosmetics in the way of pets, maybe different kinds of costumes for characters, maybe buying gold, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm sure all that will be in there, but the thing we have confirmed now is pets, and that'll be the first way they can make money. I think it's honestly a really good system because it doesn't give players an advantage. It just adds to the fun of the game, and I'm excited for it, to be honest. I'd love to be able to buy like a parrot as a pet or something like that. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. What do you want to be able to buy? What would be an acceptable microtransaction that you would purchase from the game? If you have an idea, what would you like to see people be able to buy in the game for real money? So thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a blast, and I will see you next time.
Yes, I like the rhymes.
All of us are born with the miraculous ability to determine the direction from which sounds approach us.
Let us venture into new and uncharted land.
People that shook up, when I introduced this God.